Hello, everybody. Welcome back. I'm Inside Legends. Today is Tuesday, January 20th, 2026. Happy Tuesday. And today we're going to be talking about this absolutely shocking, absurd poll out of the state of North Carolina that shows Democratic Senate candidate presumptive nominee Roy Cooper with a 24-point advantage over the presumptive Republican Senate nominee Michael Whatley in the state of North Carolina. This swing state, the swing state that favors Republicans, has Democrats with a high double-digit advantage in this race. Now, the reason this is possible is because of the undecided vote. Roy Cooper is a popular former governor from the state of North Carolina. He's been in North Carolina politics for nearly 4 decades. He's the former governor. He's been the governor for 2 terms. He was term limited. He was the attorney general for almost 2 decades. He served in the North Carolina State Senate for a decade. He served in the North Carolina House of Representatives for a couple years, for 2 terms. He's a popular Democratic former governor running for the Senate in 2026 in the state of North Carolina who has never lost an election before. And this poll just backs that. The reason the undecided vote is so high, which is why Roy Cooper has such a big lead, is because Michael Whatley is the Republican nominee, and nobody really knows who he is. He's the RNC here in the state of North Carolina. He's nothing special. I'm not even sure if he's held elected office before. He probably has. I'm not completely sure about that one. But the only reason he's in this position is because of Donald Trump's endorsement. A couple months ago, in July 2025, he got Donald Trump's support, which in this political era, if you get Donald Trump's support in the Republican primary, you're going to be the nominee, which is why he's the nominee. And while that may work to get elected to the United States Senate in a red state, in any state that's not a swing state or a blue state, that's not how it's going to work in 2026, because you're not going to win North Carolina, a state that Trump only won by 180,000 votes. He won by 3%. You're not going to win that state just by having the blessing of the president. You're not going to win against a popular former governor who's never lost an election in the swing, slightly red state of North Carolina. And this is not a Democratic aligned poll. This is not a poll that favors Democrats. This poll, for 3 reasons, actually. The recall vote has Donald Trump leading in 3 points. This means that of the voters that were polled, 45% of them voted for Donald Trump in the 2024 election, 42 voted for Kamala Harris. This is not a poll with a Democratic base that is going to skew the average for the Democrats. This has a Republican base. It's Republican by 3 points. Now, yes, the undecided vote is slightly higher. The recalled undecided / other vote is slightly higher, which makes up for some of the undecided vote, because Donald Trump 45%, whereas in 2024 he got, I think it was 51%. I don't know, the things bugging out is showing the vote totals, not the actual margin. Okay, he got 51% of the vote, whereas this has him getting 45. Same with Kamala Harris, she got 48. This shows him getting 42, which makes up for some of the undecided vote. But at the end of the day, that's not going to decide a 27-point undecided margin, because people who are going to vote for Roy Cooper are going to vote for Roy Cooper. People who are going to vote for Republicans do not care about voting for Michael Whatley. Another reason why this poll is trustworthy is because of the pollster. I don't know if it's TIPP or TIPP, but this pollster is accurate. They were the 5th most accurate pollster on average. They are the fifth most accurate pollster. They're rated A. They have an A rating. On average, they even favor Republicans, not by much, by 0.07%. That's how accurate they are. Their average bias is 0.07%. And on average, they get it wrong by less than 1 point. This pollster is trustworthy. And even so, this is a Republican-sponsored pollster. A Democratic group did not sponsor this poll. A Republican sponsored this poll. The League of American Workers is GOP-aligned. A Republican sponsored this poll, which is at the nail into the coffin for the Republicans in the state of North Carolina, because Michael Whatley is not the candidate that they need. They need a strong Republican candidate who has to battle throughout a primary, who has to prove themselves to the voters that they should be a senator. And that does not happen when you get Donald Trump's endorsement and you just cruise to Senate primary victory. That's not going to cruise you to United States Senate victory, which is why he's going to lose the Senate race by such a large margin, as this poll is saying. And other polls are saying similar things. None of them have him up by 24 points like this poll, but these other pollsters, Harper Polling has Cooper up by 8 points, Cooper up by 4 points, Cooper up by 6 points, Cooper up by 3 points. This is a state, a red state. I mean, it's voted for Trump by 3 points. On the Senate level, it hasn't voted for Democrats since 2008, I believe. Yeah, 2008. It hasn't voted for Democrats since this year, since that year. And now is going to flip to the Democrats, as polls are saying, as election results are saying, as Donald Trump's approval is saying, because midterms are a consequence of a president. They tell you what the nation thinks about how you're doing as a president. And if polls are trustworthy whatsoever, they don't have to be accurate, but they are somewhat in the realm of being accurate. Donald Trump's approval rating is sending Republicans not only in swing states, but in states like Texas, in states like Alaska, and in states like Iowa, to possibly lose the Senate in 2026. Let's look at the Senate. Let's look at the Senate map. The current states like Oregon, Minnesota, Illinois, New Hampshire, all these states are states that are going to go to the Democratic Party. I'm just going to label them, then we can talk. I'm not going to worry about margins right now. We're just going to label them and talk about them a little bit. And many of these states are going to go to the Republican Party as well. I'm going to leave out Iowa, because of this shocking nature of the poll that shows just how unpopular Republicans are. If Democrats are winning by crazy margins in North Carolina, it's not out of the realm of possibility for them to also win by crazy margins in Georgia and Michigan and Maine, with Mary Peltola in Alaska as well. And if Democrats do this, they win these swing states. If they flip Alaska with Mary Peltola, they only have to win one of these 4 seats. Now, Republicans are probably going to win Florida no matter what, but if Democrats win Texas with James Hillary, that's Senate majority. If they win in Ohio with Sherrod Brown, that's Senate majority. And if Democrats are actually winning North Carolina by big margins, now of course they're not going to win North Carolina by 24 points, because a lot of this undecided vote at the end of the day is going to go to the Republicans, but only 1% of it has to go to Roy Cooper, if not less. Roy Cooper could easily win this race with 48% of the vote. He could, because the third party, maybe not 48, he would need to get 1% of this undecided vote to win the election, to win the Senate election, and chances are he's going to get that 1% of the undecided vote, because if he gets 49% with third-party candidates, that should carry him over the finish line, although he is probably going to get over 50% of the vote come election day, when people actually have to make up their minds. They can't just say, oh, undecided. They have to make up their minds, and they can't just say undecided. And even if a very, very small margin of those say Roy Cooper, that brings him to be the next United States Senator from the state of North Carolina. Okay, that's enough about this video. What are your thoughts on this poll? Do you think it's even somewhat trustworthy? I mean, it's a pollster that's been increasingly accurate. They have an A+, they have an A rating, and even favor Republicans on average. And this poll could spell disaster for Republicans. It could be what Democrats are looking for in 2026. It's the poll that shows what special elections have been showing for a year. And yeah, so that's enough of my yapping. I just need to finish this video up. If you enjoyed this video, I encourage you to like the video, to subscribe to my channel, to turn on notifications. I upload election news every single day. And yeah, I hope you have a great day.